welcome to episode 17 of Newysports TV. I'm Ty Stedman. Tonight, Saturday night, it's early. I don't actually know what the time is. You'd think I would. 7:09, there you go. So this isn't being recorded at midnight, so maybe this will be a better quality episode. Cooks Hill versus West Wallsend, the only new FM game on today. Unfortunately, I had a fixture out at Mark's Point that I had to play in, so I missed the majority of the day at Cooks Hill, but I was there for a bit of it, and in the under-17s, Cooks Hill United 0 were defeated by West Wallsend 1. A quality match between two quality teams, two teams that I think are going to be in the finals. Although Cooks Hill, not a good result for them. We'll talk about where that leaves them at the end. Westie was struggling at times with Gilbert Harabakunzi really putting pressure on Jared Crawford, who was back in the Westie side this week at left back. The first goal and only goal of the game would come from West Wallsend. Josh Knight had a shot saved by Eamon Doyle. Rebounded to Liam Simpson, who would bury it in rather... what am I trying to say? Coolly smashed it in for a 1-0 lead. Liam Simpson scoring for West Wallsend. Cameron Walmsley missed a chance to make it 1-1. And right on half-time, or just before half-time, West Wallsend would... no, they didn't. What am I trying to say? Josh Knight got subbed off. Of course, in this grade, that doesn't mean you're gone for good. So Knighty was off with a hip injury collected late by a Cooks Hill challenge. Referee missed that one. And I say that wearing a Cooks Hill shirt. There you go. I'm not always one. Excuse me for a moment. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. Phone calls during videos. It's always fun. I'm just gonna try and move that a little bit. Alright. Where was I? So Knighty got subbed off. The referee missed the challenge. 1-0 at half-time to Westie. Cooks Hill, they put pressure on in the second half. Josh Sneddon had a very good game in goals for West Wallsend. Backed up for the under-23s as well. Sat on the bench for the 19s, very busy. I don't know who played in goals for the 19s today. I was there, but I didn't really pay that much attention. I didn't get the team sheet till after the fact, so I don't know who the goalie was, but at the moment there's two goalkeepers at West Wallsend for 4 grades, so one of them, well, there's a third, but he's a bit of a fill-in, if you will. Not sure who that was today. Rightio, so Cameron Walmsley had another 1 or 2 chances all up. He probably had about 4 or 5 shots at goal. Probably should have scored Cooks Hill number 9. I think he was the Cooks Hill number 9. Let's check that. I think that'd be a good idea. Whilst I do that, I will say that... no, I won't say anything. I'll just continue. It was Cameron Walmsley. There you go. Let's get back to there. And yeah, he had a few shots on goal, but denied. And Cooks Hill, they dropped... Well, first of all, West Wallsend did very well pressing very high up the field. Kai Drayton did very well in doing so. I'm not doing very well at putting words together tonight. It's been a long day. The likes of Brock Taylor, Mitch Kramer, Lachlan Coombs and Jared Hayter in midfield, they add so much to this team. This West Wallsend team, you know, they're second to Lakes. Let's be serious about that. Lake Macquarie City running away with the 17s title, but this West Wallsend team is something. And they are now, 11 points clear of Cooks Hill. That's a huge gap between second and fourth. 17s competition is starting to really become stretched at the top. Cooks Hill will probably drop out of the top 4 tomorrow. A win for either Kahibah or someone else. Wallsend. Kahibah or Wallsend win tomorrow and Cooks Hill will be out of the 4. What can I say? Not a good result for Cooks Hill. Big win for West Wallsend. And last but not least, man of the match, in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure in a few people's opinion, Liam Simpson for West Wallsend scored the goal, but was just brilliant throughout the game. Did really well today. Under 19s, I only saw the first half and a bit of the second. First half was entertaining, I reckon. First goal of the game was pretty sloppy, pretty crap. Nick Saxby putting the ball into his own net. He's probably had better moments than that. 1-0 for Cooks Hill in the 8th minute. West Wallsend, they hit back though. Quality cross would find Liam Keating, who evened it up. And then a few moments later, Emerson Gosling caught in the proverbial no man's land for a goalkeeper, coming out of the box and just getting tangled up with a player, and Matt Turner had a shot at an empty net and it hit the post. It should have been 2-1, and that was a rare moment for Gosling, who did very well today in the first half. Of course, I didn't watch the second, but he was quality in the first. The match winner would eventually come from West Wallsend's Jamie Ellis, winning the game 2-1 for Westie. They stay top of the table. Cooks Hill stay in 4th, and they will need to start looking over their shoulder next week and beyond if Kahibah or Singleton win tomorrow. Not Kahibah and or Singleton, because they both can't win. Cooks Hill will be hoping for a draw in that one. Cooks Hill United free, drawing West Wallsend free in the under 20 frees. That's a brilliant line. Cooks Hill United free, drawing West Wallsend free in the under 20 frees. Just say it again. It's a shame I missed this game, because it sounded like a back and forth, entertaining battle with a few goals in between. Jackson Cowper, not James. I wrote James. I don't know why. The referee just put J. I just thought it was James. I don't know. So Jackson Cowper opened the scoring for the visitors in the 8th minute. Emerson Augie hit back in the 33rd for Cooks Hill. Cowper hit back again to send the sides in. Pardon me, Emerson Augie also scored in the 33rd minute. So 2 goals for Augie, and then 2 goals also for Cowper. He scored right before half-time to make it 2-2. James Roman scored in the second half, but again, James Cowper stepping up today. Definitely man of the match. 3 goals, a hat-trick, 2 long-range goals and a header. A much better result for West Wallsend. What they're lower table, they're down there somewhere, but definitely a big result for them today. And for Cooks Hill, that is 2 points dropped at home. What can you say? First grade, Cooks Hill United 1, drawing West Wallsend 1. I made it for the last half hour of this, so very, very entertaining. I got there 1-1, and it was just really hard-fought football at its best. And of course, I'm not going to lie, I'm disappointed that my team didn't win, being Cooks Hill through and through, but I definitely appreciated the will and desire showed by West Wallsend. From the half hour I saw, I don't think either team really deserved to win it, but of course I wasn't there for the whole time. Cooks Hill opened the lead through a Mal Hinchcliffe penalty. Big Mal taking penalties, that's good to see. Big fan of Big Mal. Too many bigs in one sentences. Talking about bigs, the big dog, Jared Olivieri, see, it just flows on, doesn't it? He popped up again. Another goal for what am I trying to say? Another goal for Olivieri. I'll get it right one day. Scoring in the 51st minute. The big dog continuing his purple patch of goal-scoring form. And yeah, West Wallsend did very well to get a result at Cooks Hill. That's a big result for them. Few hard challenges towards the end of the game. I thought it was going to boil over. I thought there might have been 1 or 2 flare-ups, and I'm not talking about the flares in the crowd. I'm talking about on the field. Another 20 minutes and I think brawling might have eventuated. It was getting really heated. But credit to both teams, it was entertaining. It was 1-1, and draws, in my mind, draws can be entertaining sometimes. This was one of them. just end to end. You didn't know if someone was going to win. I think both teams probably could have left with the 3 points. Blake Glennie and Gary Rowe probably disappointed that they couldn't leave with the 3 points. Not a result that favours either team. West Wallsend away from home, of course. It's probably better for them, but both teams, neither of them would have wanted 1 point out of this game with the table looking the way it does. NPL. Valentine played the Jaffers today. Jaffers winning 2-0 in first grade, and Valentine winning 3-1 in both the under-22s and under-19s. Hamilton Olympic and Western Workers is still in progress as I say this. I don't have any scores from there yet. I'll try and maybe get them tomorrow if I remember. And that's it. That's 15 minutes or so. That's good. Only interrupted once, and we move on. I don't know why I'm saying this, because this doesn't go up to Monday night, but I'll be at Kahibah versus Singleton tomorrow, and I will be reviewing that when I see you in a few seconds. Thank you. Welcome back to episode 17 of Newysports TV. Firstly, apologies for any mistakes. It is 1 AM in the morning on Monday. I've got to be up at 8 o'clock or something like that, so I'm going to try and hurry this. I'm not going to lie. Yesterday I was at Kahibah versus Singleton Strikers at Kahibah Oval. A very, very enjoyable day. It was one of the better days I've had this year. Had the PA speaker, photos, there were some video highlights, which was nice for a change. Let's go straight into it. Under 17s, Kahibah FC 2 defeating Singleton Strikers 0. Singleton, they played alright, but I think that they're a lot better than this. Gave away a penalty in the 6th minute of the game, Ryan Stutchbury converting that penalty. And yeah, Kahibah just had so many chances. Henry Gibson a one-on-one chance, but denied by a desperation save by Brad Fairclough. Pat Waller would make it 2-0 before half-time. And same in the second half, Kai Condren hit the post. Pat Waller threatened a few times. Singleton at the back, Josh Shade and Luke Fishpool especially. Fishpool probably man of the match there. Brad Fairclough was good in goals. Trey Pradlock impressed again late on, but did give away a penalty which I don't think it was very legit. What can I say? I don't think it was a penalty, that's what I'll say, but 2-0 Kahibah, probably should have been 4 or 5. They were the better team in this game. They move into 3rd place. Singleton remain in the lower portion of the table. Expect a better second half of the year from Singo. Very talented individuals there. Under 19s Kahibah 5-1 over Singleton. Jaden Bartlett impressed early on for Singleton, but Matty Hughes working very hard for Kahibah, and he'd pop up a few times. Nathan Hall would score the first goal to put Singleton ahead, the danger man. Moments later, Singleton just had a complete lapse of focus at the back and left Bailey Chaplin unmarked. Straight at the keeper though, still 1-0. Second half, Bailey Cooper converted a penalty to tie things up. Jeremy Wild giving away that penalty. Probably lucky not to see red, the Singleton goalkeeper, heading away from goals, but still in that situation with a foul like he committed inside the box from the keeper, more often than not will result in a red card. Matty Hughes scored a a quality individual goal. Let's not go brilliant. Got away from his man and just outmuscled him and slotted it past the keeper, or under the keeper. Moments later, Matty Hughes had a second. Further damage came in the final 10 minutes, Jared Watkins scoring a goal and Matty Hughes scoring to seal a delightful hat-trick for the 19s. 5-1. Blake Gates decent in goals as well. What can I say? A very, very strong performance by Kahibah. Singleton, they'll feel hard done by. They're a better team than this, and I don't think 5-1 reflected the game today, especially that first half. Singleton just unlucky, and with that in mind, Kahibah were the better team, and they move into the top 4 now with a game in hand, while Singleton still remain mid-table. Under 23s, Kahibah FC 5 defeating Singleton Strikers 0. This was a little bit more one-sided than the 19s game. Jez Turner continued his goal-scoring form. Jacob Hill got a goal. Roberto Garcia was doing decent for Singleton, as was goalkeeper Lucas Gentle back in goals this week. Pardon me for yawning. 1:06 AM. Just remember that. Trent Vegter made it 3-0 for Kahibah. Ruben Ryan made it 4-0. Nathan McCarter was playing well. Simon Frary was earning his team sheet clean sheet with 1 or 2 quality saves. And Singleton's misery was summed up late on as Barton Jones went for a fairly innocuous, I think that might be the right word, back pass. I'm not one of those people, in saying this, I played yesterday and nearly scored an own goal, but I'm not one of those people who believe in back passing to the keeper from about 40 metres out and trying to hit the keeper on the chest or something like that. Kicking the ball up and trying to drop it down to the keeper. In this situation, he kicked it too hard and dropped it down into the net. One of the best goals of the day, but an own goal, 5-0. Kahibah going to positive points differential, 3 straight wins, and it's all coming together for Kahibah 23s at the moment. The less said about Singleton, probably the better. It is not going very well, their heaviest defeat yet. First grade, Kahibah FC 3 defeating Singleton Strikers 2. I wasn't there yesterday. Not yesterday. It's now Monday morning, so I wasn't there Saturday for the majority of the Cooks Hill game. But this sort of reminded me, the home team taking a 1-0 lead, away team equalise. Away team equalise in the 50th minute or so, and the game looks destined to be a 1-1 draw. I never believed it would be. Kieran Burrell impressed for Singleton. He was really good today. Got injured with about 25 minutes to go, which really affected the Singleton defensive line. He seems like a decent recruit. Let's hope that Adamstown aren't listening to this. We'll talk about Adamstown later and those 2 recruits from Singleton that they got. It's not going too well there. It's not going too well at Singleton either. Kieran Bell showed some class and some patience, some leadership. Younger guys in that defensive line like Jackson Skinner, for instance, could really do with someone like that. And the other week I watched Singleton and they had Tyler Felsh at left back and Skinner at centre back. This is getting in a bit more in depth than I normally do, but having 2 young defenders like that sort of feeding off of each other, I think you need experience in the defensive line. And I don't know how old Kieran Burrell, I can't even say his name. I don't know how old Burrell is, the new recruit, but he definitely seemed like he had some sort of experience and knowledge and leadership. And when he went off, it did fall apart a little bit. Dan Bartlett scored the first goal of the game. He'll probably claim that this was a good goal, but it was a cross turned into a shot, turned into a goal. Just trying to get it across the face really, and it ended up in the back of the net. And frustrating for Singleton, 1-0 to Kahibah. Zane Hand, a couple throw-ins that just went about 30 or 40 metres, maybe overstatement there, but at least 20 metres, 30 metres at the most. Very good throw-ins, and eventually the Strikers would earn a corner, and this is where it gets a little bit hazy. Jackson Cox swung it in dangerously, I've seen the video footage. I believe the keeper, Josh Cox, no relation, no. Yeah, the Kahibah keeper, I think, put it into his own net, but the referee report gives the goal to Clouden Armitage, who was celebrating. So, someone scored that goal. It's 1-1 nonetheless. Josh Spencer had a chance or two. Probably should have passed it to Sean Clerk. I think it was in the middle. Bit of miscommunication at times for Kahibah, and it boiled over at times, but they carry on. They're a professional club, and a professional club sometimes, sometimes they do have a little bit of a word to each other on the field. That's to be expected when it's not going to plan. Jason Evans played well, but yeah, the defence at times was very sloppy. Kahibah dominated the first half. They absolutely dominated the first 25 minutes or so, and then it just, at times it was just falling to pieces, and Andre Gumprech was losing his mind at times. Good footage actually, if you go and watch the highlights of the games, good footage of Gumsi kicking the crap out of the goalpost. That's good. I really like that. I'm somebody who last year punched a goalpost and nearly ended up with a broken hand, so I think kicking it might be a little bit better option, but generally taking out your anger on the goalpost is not going to end very well. That's from experience. The breakthrough goal would come. Jaden Demir getting on the field. I was sitting there, I was wondering, why isn't Jaden Demir getting subbed on? I'm not sure why he started on the bench, to be honest. There's a lot of competitiveness for positions at Kahibah, I guess. I'm trying to remember who they had on the bench that started every game last year. It's not coming to me at the moment. That's not good. That's not good at all, but it is late. They did have a player who last year started every single game and was on the bench today. So Demir came on the field and he did his thing, attacking well, and he found Trent Vegda, who found the goal very well. Very superb goal, superb finish to send the home fans into celebrations. At that point you're thinking it's game over. Singleton stuck in there. They did lose Kieran Burrell, of course. Jackson Skinner moved from centre back to left back, which last year was his normal position, but he was caught out by Trent Vegda's goal. Moving from one position to another can really hurt a young player like that, I think, in a game. But Singleton hung in there, and it was a team effort today. I don't know how pleased they are with it though, but Nathan Hall getting a goal, also scored in the 19s, very good young player there. I'd want to say their best young player at Singleton, under the age of 19 or so. That might be a little bit, I don't know, that might be a little bit harsh. You've got Tyler Felsh, you've got Jackson Skinner. You can go down to the 19s and the 17s as well. There's some talented players there, but Nathan Hall is really doing well this year. Vegta scored in the 84th minute, Hall in the 90th. You're thinking 2-2, that's it. Andre Gumprech. Never thought I'd be saying this, never thought I'd be watching this. Gumpy just smashing a shot from, you can get out there with a tape measure and measure it, I think 40 metres. It was a hell of a goal. I just could not help but just, be amazed at that. I believe it's Gumsi's first goal for Kahibah in UFM, and I've watched Gumsi a lot. I played six-a-side with Gumsi all summer, and he did this a lot at six-a-side, to take shots from way out. The six-a-side field's tiny, but to convert that into a first grade game, into a 93rd minute goal, I'm not going to say winding back the years, because I'm not sure he was ever a goal scorer. He's a defender, but Gumsi, this was a hell of a goal, and it sparked a hell of a party for Kahibah. Fortunate enough to get invited in to see the team song, and Singleton went forward again. Stewie Plant went all the way forward, the goalkeeper. He was actually tripped. Josh Cox caught the ball and was... Oh no, hang on. Josh Cox caught the ball and was going to kick it long. No goalkeeper for Singleton. Stewie Plant actually tripped Josh Cox. And in my mind, even though it's, 90 metres away from an empty net, that could still be a red card. And Stewie may be lucky to not get sent off there. I don't know. I used to ref a long time ago. Maybe the rules are different now. One of the best finishes to a game I've ever seen anywhere. Just dramatic. Kahibah, the better side on the day. I think they deserved the win. They stretched the gap between 4th and 5th. And I did say that Kahibah team song was through the roof. And after that I sort of went down and I was talking to a couple guys from Singleton, sort of just out the front of their change room, and it was quite heated, I'll say that much. I won't go too far into it. I'm sure the coach, David Willoughby, will be very frustrated in the way they lost today in the last minute. Handing over the ball, it wasn't Singleton's best effort, and they are in a little bit of a bother at the moment on the bottom of the table. David Willoughby, a very serious coach, and they'll work hard at training. I think Singleton are the sort of side that aren't gonna just fall apart, and I don't think the team's gonna turn on the coach and all that we might be seeing at one or two other clubs or teams. I'm not going to go into that, but Singleton have a long way to come back if they want to make finals. I don't think it's going to happen, but when you're sitting last at the halfway point of the season or so, you generally start thinking, can we not get the wooden spoon? I don't think they will. They'll win some games, but it's got to come sooner rather than later. Around the grounds in first grade, 4 games today, so we'll go through the other 3. Wallsend 1, South Cardiff 1, 8 yellow cards, 6 for Wallsend, which means a fine, I believe, will be incoming for the Red Devils. They are not the first team with Wallsend in their name to be fined for yellow cards this year. There's another team, and it's not South Wallsend because they're not in this competition, and it's not East, and it's not North. Only one left, and yeah, West Wallsend. They know how to give cards, and well, maybe the referees know how to give them cards, I don't know. Wallsend getting a lot of cards today. Cameron Herring putting South Cardiff ahead, but Trent Milton scored an equaliser with 14 minutes to go. 1-1 draw. I don't think either team will be too happy with that. Southie especially probably needed to win this game and start pushing on for a top 4 spot. Out at Cessnock, Cessnock City 1, defeated by Lake Macquarie City 6. I don't know the Cessnock goal scorer. I'll try and get that tomorrow. Lake, Sam Walker 3 goals, Blake Green 2, Matt Gray 1. Sam Walker, what is it? Someone get a calculator and work out how many goals he's got. I think it's 13 now, maybe 14. Granted, he might not get 42 or 43 this year, but Sam Walker is still a very dangerous player. Blake Green is a handy player, and Matty Gray is a very good defender as well, so I think he's a defender, yes. Roosters going in next week's bye with a few points to spare over Bellswans in second, top of the table for Lakes. And Toronto Awabba 2 were defeated by Thornton Redbacks 6. Pretty even in the first half, Nick Roberts getting 2 goals. Jesse Smith also getting 1 goal. Josh Benaquista getting the other goal for Thornton. 2-2 at the break, and only one side would come out for the second half. Thornton Redbacks were that side. Nathan McAllister continued his good form, scoring 2 goals. Jesse Smith scored again, and talented youngster Josh Davies got on the score sheet. It might actually be Josh Davis. There's a Davies and there's a Davis. I think there's a Davis at Toronto. I think it's Davies at Thornton. I get confused. A delightful win for Thornton. That takes them above Cooks Hill into 5th place. I'm not sure I think the top 4 will stay the same, but at the moment, next week, Thornton versus Cooks Hill is a key game for both those teams. In my mind, Cooks Hill's season, I think their finals hopes are very slim at the moment. and I'm saying that as an insider of the camp at Cooks Hill. These top 4 teams are just too good at the moment. But you never know in the second half of the season, injuries, whatnot. Daryl McAllister's side, they're in form. What's that, three wins in a row now. They've still got Jamie Subet to come back in. They've still got Mick Hugo as a goalkeeper there, I think. I might be wrong on that. He's still got to come back in. Chris Berg playing in goal at the moment, so that's not saying Chris Berg is a bad goalkeeper. I'm just saying that he might not be the first choice there. I don't know. Hugo is supposedly the first choice, but definitely Jamie Subet, something like that. Jamie is definitely probably first choice player at the Redbacks. As for Toronto, this is 3 weeks in a row now that they've just fallen apart, and at least it was 2-2 at half time, but look, you can't just come out and lose 6-2, and I'm not going to try and talk too much about Toronto, but I'm not involved there, but I know that Tony Josefsky has a lot of work commitments and that, and there's been a lot of talk on the Northern New South Wales sort of official match previews and whatnot about Tony and his work commitments getting in the way of training and whatnot. I don't believe in putting all of this on the coach, but I think Toronto at the moment, they're only heading in one direction, and it's not up. It's down, and it's only because Singleton are in such bad form that they're probably not on the bottom. This sort of form will get you to the bottom sooner rather than later, and that is 16 goals in 3 games conceded. And you know, that's a harsh reality. Toronto not doing very well at the moment. In the under-23s, Wallsend FC 2 defeating South Cardiff 1. Jeremy Wen and Jason Maguire putting Wallsend ahead. Brent Alcock scored for Southie with about 8 minutes to go. Heart rates at Wallsend would have been through the roof. Chris Wallace, his side have been known over the last month or so to give away cheap goals late on to drop points. They didn't today. They held on, and Chris will be happy. His assistant coach Ben will be happy. They'll all be happy. I don't know if it was an ugly grind out win. I wasn't there, but 2-1 over South Cardiff is a quality result. Still behind Southie on the table. Cessnock City 2 drawing Lake Macquarie City 2. The goals for Lakes Jordan Harper and Jimmy Ward continuing his good form. No goal scorers for Cessnock just yet. A good result for Cessnock, a bad one for Lakes. With Cooks Hill dropping points yesterday, Lakes had a chance to sort of stretch the lead a little bit at the top, but they couldn't. 20 points for Lakes, 19 for Cookers. Toronto over 1 defeated by Thornton 2. Nathan Clifton getting 2 goals. The Stags scored late through Will Cadden, but the damage had been done. Toronto go down, another 1 goal defeat. They're not losing 6-2 or whatnot. They had some big losses earlier in the year, but that's 5 goals scored in 8 or 9 games. They just need goals, and hopefully that'll start coming. I don't know, maybe look at one of the 17s or 19s to fill in there. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is for Toronto's 23s. If I did, I'd probably tell them. I'd tell them they need goals. That's what I'll say. Under 19s, Wallsend FC 2 defeating South Cardiff 1. Jack Lydiard giving Wallsend the lead. Josh Iannazzo scoring for Southie, and the game really came to life in the last 10 minutes. Aidan Lucas sent off for South Cardiff. Dissent was the second yellow. Delaying the restart was the first yellow. That's not very good. If you're going to get sent off, at least go in and just perform a crushing tackle or something. Don't get sent off for dissent. That's pretty poor. I don't know what the situation was, so I can't really comment too much, but delaying the restart's pretty cheap yellow as well. Wallsend took all 3 points with 3 minutes to go against 10 men. Danny Willis? Sam Willis. I think that should be Sam Willis. No, I don't know. Someone scored. He'll know who scored. It was Willis that scored the goal, 2-1 for Wallsend. Cessnock City 0 defeated by Lake Macquarie City 5. Darko Nikic, Chris Peverini, Josh Richardson, Jack Russo and Kevin Van Gool, the goal scorers for Lake Macquarie City. I don't know what the table looks like. I think they're still behind West Wallsend. Yes, they are. Cessnock still last or something like that. They're a decent side, Cessnock. This wasn't their best day. 5-0, Lakes do the job there. Quality performance. Talking about quality performances, Toronto Wobber 2 defeated by Thornton Redbacks 6. There's that score again. Jack Halverson scoring in the 4th minute for Thornton, had a double in the 14th minute. Tristan Wells scored in the 28th minute or something like that, and then Tristan Wells scored again in the 38th minute. 4-0, right on half-time. Jesse Cowie made it 4-1. Scored again to make it 4-2 in the second half, and then Broderick and Jack Halverson secured a hat-trick for Thornton to win 6-2 over Toronto Wobber. In the under-17s, Wallsend FC 5 defeated South Cardiff 0. Sounds like a pretty bad result, but Southie goalkeeper Justin Becker was shown red for denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. And they were always going to struggle without a goalkeeper. I'm not sure who went in. But if you're not a regular goalkeeper, I don't think they normally... there's a couple teams that sort of have a backup goalie in 17s. Singleton come to mind. There's a couple other clubs I just can't think at the moment. It's 1:30 in the morning. I've got to get up at 8 o'clock, so I'm just trying to get through this. But don't know who went in goals for Southie, but Ben Priest converted the penalty. Dan Strazzeri scored a goal, and then the Juma Sadie show started. 3 goals for Juma. 3-0 at half-time, 5-0 at full-time. Wallsend into the top 4. This is a team that about 3 months ago, their first pre-season game, I said they're not going to do anything this year. And credit to the Wallsend 17s, credit to Craig Salembus, their coach. Hell of a comeback from there. I should never have written them off, and they're in the top 4 for a reason. Very good form at the moment. Kahibah next week will be a test. Cessnock City 1 defeated by Lake Macquarie City 4. Lake scoring 2 late goals. No idea who got the goal for Cessnock. Kyson Brown, Harry Taylor, Curtis McRitchie from the penalty spot, and an own goal from Cessnock were the 4 goals for Lake Macquarie. And Toronto Wobber 2, Thornton Redbacks 2. Conflicting reports. Thornton told me they dominated and were unlucky. Toronto told me they dominated. Thornton got a handball. They were unlucky. That's what happens when you're running something like this. I'm just going to say who scored the goals and just report on actually what happened. I wasn't there, so Caleb Trimboli scored early on, cancelled out by Aidan Hesketh of Thornton. Kobe Bartley McDonald giving Thornton the lead with 10 minutes to go, but then Luke Gibbons, Gibbo, scoring right on the last minute of the game to rescue a point for Toronto. Both teams disappointed, I'd say, in a game that probably could have gone either way by the sounds of things. We'll move on to NPL, where Maitland and the Jets youth are washed out at Cook Square Park, which that's sort of strange because it's on a massive hill. You'd think the water would run off. I don't know. That was postponed. Broadmeadow Magic postponed the 19s and 22s, which Magic Park's supposed to be the best field in town, so I don't know what's going on there. They've had a couple washouts there so far. In first grade, I heard it was a pretty scrappy, uninspiring game. 1-1 draw, Magic and Edgeworth. These two teams normally produce some very, very high quality games. The FFA Cup comes to mind earlier this year. Out at Lyle Carr Oval, Charlestown in the under-19s defeated Adamstown 3-2. 4-3 in the under-22s. Sounds like two quality games there. And in first grade, this is a little bit strange. Charlestown 2, Adamstown 0. Adamstown are not going very well at the moment. Charlestown, on the other hand, have got a couple wins now, and got to give them credit for that at home over Adamstown. There was some Zone League games today. We'll go through that in the Zone League show on Wednesday night, and that's pretty much it. And just as I say that, I get a message from Cessnock. Shout out to Matt Zeckel, who's been asleep and has just messaged me at 1:20 in the morning. So we have the Cessnock goal scorers. Will Forbes was the goal scorer for the Hornets in the 17s. Jeremy Morton got the goal in first grade, and Jai Thompson, I believe, got the goal in the 23s. One of the goals, not sure on the other. I will find that out tomorrow. Yeah, there you go. Cessnock in the 17s, they conceded an own goal with 15 minutes to go. Lake's got a penalty with 30 seconds to go to sort of make that scoreline look a bit more one-sided. So credit to Cessnock there. He's told me that the 19s ended 6-0, I believe it ended 5-0. Not sure there, I'm going to have to find that out. 3 quick goals from Lakes near the end of the game, but still the better side. 23s, Cessnock were up 2-0 in the 23s, so they'll be a bit disappointed with letting the points go there. And yeah, Cessnock had a couple guys out in first grade. Lakes were always probably going to be too good for Cessnock, even at full strength. That's with respect to Cessnock. Lake Macquarie City probably going to beat most teams in this competition this season, the way they're going. That's it. It's been a long night, I'll tell you that. I've been going since 8 o'clock this morning. It is now 1:30 in the next morning. What's that? 20 something hours? No, it's not. It's 16, 17, 18 hours. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Be back on Wednesday night for the Zone League show, and then this weekend I may or may not be at New FM games. I have 2 games with my team. I believe I'll be at Thornton on Sunday for Thornton versus Cooks Hill, and if I do go to a game on Saturday, it will be somewhere. I have no idea who's playing Saturday, where they're playing. Let's have a quick look. You know, this has gone over time. Why not just have a little peek at the games this weekend? As I said, Thornton versus Cooks Hill in a very key game this weekend for both sides, I believe. Round 10, Saturday. There you go. If I do go to a game on Saturday, it will be West Wallsend versus Cessnock. That sounds like it's going to be quite physical, I'll tell you that. I enjoyed the trial matches between those sides early this year. This has been episode 17 of Newysports TV. What's that, every week? That's a lot of episodes. It's going very fast this year, I'll tell you that much. Already at halfway point of the season. I'm Ty Stebbin. Thank you to Kahibah FC for the hospitality today. Brilliant. 2 of my favourite clubs, Kahibah and Singleton. I could sit here and probably go 1 through 11, the clubs I like to. I don't dislike any clubs. There's 1 or 2. There's 1 that I might not, but one that I don't get on very well with at the moment. But I'm sure everyone knows who that is. But I'll tell you right now, there's 3 or 4 clubs that I really like, and Kahibah and Singleton are 2 of those. And Kahibah, I think, it's the top. They're not the best team in the comp. Okay, Lake Macquarie City are the best team in the comp across all grades, but Kahibah, the team environment there is second to none, in my opinion. Wallsend have that same atmosphere, but Kahibah, I think, take it 1 step further. You know, all their younger players are there watching first grade. They know all the first graders. I don't think all the Wallsend 17s can name all the first graders. Just saying that, there's a challenge. I'll be at Wallsend in 2 weeks. I really enjoyed it at Kahibah today. Great club, and Singleton as well. Great people there, and looking forward to going back up there during the season. In fact, this weekend, Cooks Hill, West Wallsend, Kahibah, Singleton, 4 clubs that I love to work with. Then there's some clubs like South Cardiff, Thornton, that I'm still getting to know people there, especially South Cardiff. I've got to get back out there soon. I don't get back out there till July. Looking at my schedule, that's piss poor, I admit that. There's some clubs where I could do a little bit better at getting to know them, and that's what it's all about. So next week, Thornton coming back up there with the Cooks Hill gear on. Hopefully there won't be any antics going on this time. There won't be. I think I'll take a loss a lot better this week. Just asked West Wallsend. That wasn't a loss, but I'm not always biased. I'm only biased when I want to be. This has just gone on too long. This has been totally off topic. What can I say? Congratulations to Adelaide United winning the A-League title. Brilliant performance there. 50,000 people, Adelaide Oval, you can't go wrong. One day that will be Hunter Stadium. That will be Hunter Stadium, 30,000 grand final. Jets 3-1 over. I'm not going to say the Mariners. They're never going to make grand final again. 3-1 over Brisbane Roar or someone good. Maybe next year. This has been Newysports TV. I'm Ty Stedman, episode 17 done. See you in episode 18 next week, same time, same place. See you then.